Hey guys. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about these golden handcuffs, right? This is the concept that, well, I have to stay at my job because there's so many great perks that I can't possibly leave. And today we're going to talk about how to take off those golden handcuffs. If you are thinking, this job is just not doing it for me anymore, I'm not feeling great about what I'm doing, or I want to be making more money, or if I want more freedom, or any of those kinds of things that when you're stuck in a job can seem like they're impossible, and they're absolutely not impossible. So what I want to talk about is this concept of being stuck in a job because it has so many great perks. And one thing I also want to get really, really clear on is it's not like you're getting paid really well and these great perks. The whole reason that perks exist, the whole reason that companies pay for health insurance, the whole reason that companies do 401k matching, the whole reason that companies, any of that golden handcuff stuff, is to pay you less, right? It's to offset direct payments into your checking account. They are subsidized for a lot of these kinds of things, and it can be a write-off for them. So it's financially, it makes more sense for them to give you these perks than to pay you more to be on staff. So let's not excuse me, let's not at all get confused about like, oh, my company is so great, it just loves me so much. Like, yeah, your company may be great, but these perks aren't special gifts to you. They are what companies give you instead of paying you more. So I want you to keep that in mind as well, because all of these things like, oh, well, health insurance, oh my gosh, my 401k match, all of this stuff is stuff that you can get for yourself. Number one, remember that as a freelancer, you should be making more than you made on staff. At whatever role you were in, you should be making more as a freelancer. And I know sometimes people are like, that's not true, freelancers work for peanuts. Well, then either number one, you may be, what's the word I'm looking for? Accepting lower rates than you should, or number two, you don't know how to find clients that will pay you your reasonable rate. But as a freelancer, you should be making more than you are on staff. Companies are willing to pay for your flexibility. And they also, again, don't have to pay for health insurance, don't have to pay for all that other stuff. So first of all, you'll be making more as a freelancer than you were on staff. Second of all of these like, oh, I can't leave because I have to do this and I have to get my health insurance. You can get all of that for yourself. In fact, probably more than ever before, it's easier, especially in the States, to find, well, I guess it's in other countries that have universal healthcare, it's a lot easier to find healthcare. But in the States, there are all kinds of marketplaces. You can buy insurance directly from a lot of insurers. That's what I do. And the great news too is that is tax deductible. Can you set up your own 401k or SEP, single 401k? I forget the exact term it is. Talk to your tax professionals, talk to a financial planner. But because when you're working for yourself, you are both the employer and the employee, you can often, at least for a certain kind of account, you can donate twice as much, or you can not donate, you can invest twice as much. You can set aside twice as much for employer and employee. So there's your match right there. And again, talk to your tax preparation professional, but a lot of these things can affect your taxes in a positive way as well. Okay, so that's healthcare, checked off the list. Yes, you need healthcare, but again, it's easier than ever to find good healthcare for yourself, and you get to choose what you get and what matters to you and what doesn't, instead of the company choosing. And you get to deduct it from your taxes. You can set up your own retirement account. Great. You can do all kinds of contributing to that, and that can affect your taxes in a positive way as well. Let's talk about like, oh, well, I've amassed so much vacation time. Yeah, I know. But when you're freelance, you can take vacation whenever you want to, and you don't have to ask anybody, right? Like the idea that, oh, I can only take 3 weeks off per year and I have to get that okayed by, and if I want to go for a doctor's appointment in the middle of the afternoon, I have to get that okayed by somebody. It's your life. Shouldn't you be able to decide when you take vacation? And the thing is too, is that if you want to take some vacation weeks and not work at all, awesome. You can absolutely make that happen. And all you need to do is just plan ahead a little bit. If you really want to take that time off completely, then just dial up your pitching, dial up the clients that you're working with, dial up your income so that when those weeks come, you can take that off, but you don't have to worry at all about not having money coming in during that week, because you made up for it either before or after or both. And the great thing is too, is that when you're a freelancer, want to take a day off in the middle of the week, do it. Take a day off in the middle of the week and you don't have to check with anybody. Or you want to stop working Fridays? Great, don't work Fridays. You get to do what makes the most sense for you and your schedule and your life. And you can work from home, work from the soccer field if you're watching your kids, work from Bali. I know it's such a like stereotypical, like, yeah, you're gonna travel the world, but it's possible. It doesn't matter where you work from, as long as you've got a good internet connection and you can work with your clients' hours. They don't care where you are. So healthcare, let's see, 401k, covered that. Vacation time, yes. Bonuses. Yeah. You know what a bonus is? That's money that they should have paid you in your salary, but they're holding it back because they don't want to have to pay you more in the salary. This is how companies work. They figure out how to make it enticing for people to stay and pay them, yes, a reasonable rate. Many companies pay you a reasonable rate, but they could be paying you and probably should be paying you so much more. And guess what? Here's the thing. There's so many companies that don't offer bonuses. And even if they do offer bonuses, often, if not always, those bonuses are not, maybe not always, but the vast majority of the time, the bonuses are not because of what you individually have done. It's based on what the company has done. So if you work like crazy and you do a great job, but the company didn't hit its goals, do you get your bonus and the company doesn't? No, you don't get your bonus at all. Whereas when you're a freelancer and you work like crazy and you're like, I'm gonna make as much money this month as I possibly can, or the next 2 months or 3 months or whatever, you get that money. It goes directly into your pocket. So there's your bonus for you. You get your bonus is guaranteed. The more you work, the more you make. And the more you learn to hone your skills, and the more you learn to pitch effectively, and the more you learn to repitch your clients, and the better you get at estimating how much you should be charging for these projects, all that kind of stuff, which again, we teach you in the Freelance Success Framework, all of that stuff. There's no magic. Like we always say, there's no magic to being a successful freelancer. There's just a system that you follow. You learn the steps and you follow the system. It's not rocket science. It's not magic. You follow the system. So all of these golden handcuff things, I don't like my job anymore, but I have to stay there. It's not true. You're not stuck there. You're not trapped at this company by these golden handcuffs. You can get yourself, you can give yourself all of those wonderful bonuses, and they are no longer golden handcuffs. They're golden bracelets that you get to wear all the way to the bank, or all the way to Bali, or wherever it is that you want to work. So I would really encourage you to think about this for a little bit, to let this sit in your mind, and because it sometimes takes a little while for people to get acclimated to the idea that they don't have to rely on some big company to do all of this for them. And again, all of this stuff is easier than you believe. And it's not like, oh, it's going to be so hard to set up healthcare. Like, no. Is it fun? No, because you spend maybe an hour or so doing a little bit of research, and then maybe another hour putting through the paperwork, and then maybe you set up direct deposit, and then you're done. And then once a year, just like you did on staff, you say, all right, do I want to stay with this program, or do I want to stay with a new program? And it's the same thing with whatever 401k or IRA or whatever you end up setting up. Talk to your tax prep professional. I think it's a single 401k, single IRA, anyway. Luckily, we have researched this much better. It's in the course, we have that information. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. I just did my tax stuff. I don't remember what the actual account type I have is, but it's doable. And that's the same thing. You research it once, you get it set up, and then you put in your automatic contributions. And then at the end of the year, maybe you contribute a little bit more because you made so much more. So I really would encourage you to embrace this idea of being in control of all this stuff that we consider perks, and giving these perks to yourself, along with all of the other perks of being a successful freelancer: the flexibility, the income, the ability to choose who you work with and when and how and where and for how much and all of that stuff. So definitely something I would encourage you to sit with.